Hey, everybody. Happy Monday morning. So, this is episode 3 of my new Mindset Monday video series. And today we are going to be talking about how to stay on track eating whole food plant based when you're going to family events, picnics, parties, and barbecues, and you're going on vacations. And how are you going to handle staying on track? So, the reason why I wanted to do that is this week is the 4th of July. So many of us are probably going to family barbecues. Raise your hand if you're going. I'm going. What are you going to do so that you stay on track while you are at a family picnic, at a family barbecue, at someone's house? In 2 weeks, we're going camping. So, how do you handle going camping when you're trying to eat whole food plant based and stay on track so that way you can still reach your goals being whole food plant based and not just give up and say, "Oh, it's just one day, I'll eat the burger," you know? So that is what we're going to chat about today. So let's get started. Let's talk about the 4th of July and things such as that. So on the 4th of July, we are going to my husband's family's weekly, you know, not weekly, annual 4th of July barbecue. And it's, what do you do? How do you stay on track? Are you just going to give up and eat whatever you want? What do I do? So, what I do is I go ahead and I make sure that I bring our food. And I get it that it can seem weird. You might take a little flack for it. And on my Facebook, live that I just did, people are saying, well, what are good comebacks when people say that? I generally don't need to do comebacks anymore because his family is actually used to us eating this way and they tend to scarf all of the food that I bring. So last year was our first time going to this particular annual barbecue and bringing all of our own food. So I tend to bring either wraps, and I'll talk about some of the few store bought burgers and things that you could potentially get if you want to be able to say that you're slapping something on the grill, just like everyone else. But a lot of the times I tend to just pre make our wraps. And what I use for our wraps is I tend to put hummus, a cauliflower, walnut, mushroom taco meat. I tend to put my potato, carrot, cheese, and then lettuce, tomato, and onion, and sometimes some hot sauce. And that, for the bulk of it, is what I put in our wraps when I make it. Sometimes I also just put refried beans on there. I buy the fat free ones. You can certainly make your own, but I buy the fat free ones that don't have any oil added to them. And I'll sometimes stick that in there too. So, you know, I also usually bring things like my potato, carrot, cheese, homemade tortilla chips, or I just bring some sort of cracker that is oil free. There are a few out there. Edward and Sons makes these rice crackers or small little crackers. If you look at my video for the potato, carrot, cheese, and you see the graphic, that's the beginning graphic with these round cracker things. That's what those are. They're Edward and Sons. I find them on the gluten-free aisle at Wegmans and other stores. They certain flavors are not oil-free, so I think the ones that are like there's a tamari seaweed, and then there's like a tamari sesame, something like that. There's like 3 or 4 different flavors that are oil-free, including their original plain, which has less sodium. So if you're watching your sodium, that one is a good one. Aldi's recently came out with their Simply Nature brand, I believe, has 3 different flavors of these of something similar, like a rice cracker. I think it comes in like roasted red pepper and a couple other flavors. 2 of them are oil free, 1 is not. They're actually pretty good. And what I do with them is, since they're kind of big squares, I would say like about that big, I break them in half. So I think the serving size is 13. I have 7 and I break it in half and then I got 14 crackers. That's what I do. But it's so easy to make something like the potato, carrot, cheese, like I did last year. Bring a huge salad, just a regular, toss salad with my 20 different veggies and beans in there that I make. And you can put in I made I bring hummus, and then of course, baby carrots and celery sticks and broccoli and cauliflower and all that stuff that you can put in there. And last year, when someone was saying, "What the heck is this stuff?" to my potato, carrot, cheese, and laughed when I said it's potato and carrot cheese, I said, "Don't knock it until you try it," and said, "Here, taste it." And then he said, "Oh, wow, that's really good. This is better than the taco dip. Give me this." And then everyone tasted it. And within the half hour, the potato carrot cheese that I brought for me was completely gone. So it goes to show that sometimes you can just bring something to a family barbecue like that and just say, hey, don't laugh at it unless you're willing to taste it. And you may find that people are going to go right for it and enjoy it. I think, Ginny's here. Hi. And Cindy's here. Hello. And Ginny knows that that cheese is pretty dang good. So to me, when I eat that, it tastes like cheese. It doesn't taste, and I imagine if I had the real thing, like when I used to buy like queso dip or like the gallon tub of nacho cheese to last us the summer, I guarantee if I were to try those now, I would find them absolutely disgusting and think, oh God, bleh, I need my potato carrot cheese. So you get used to in habits like this. And when you go to family barbecue, just learn to bring your own foods. Just bring it. Don't worry about it if people say, oh, well, then you just, all fancy, aren't you? Whatever. You may hear some things like that. Brush it off. Who cares? Okay. A lot of the times I would get flack from the people who are in my family who are overweight. And it's like they're laughing at me for eating a salad and potato carrot cheese, yet they're stuffing their face with all this horrible greasy crap and talking about their diabetes and their arthritis and the heart attack that they had last year and all this stuff. And it's like, why are you laughing at me when you're sitting there feeling like you're dying and it's because of what you're shoving in your mouth and you're going to make fun of me for not shoving that crap in my mouth. I mean, you got to learn to just let it go. It is what it is. And people tend to try to laugh off something that they don't understand and want no part of to try to just kind of do it. She said, we just went camping and I brought all that you mentioned. I felt so empowered. That's awesome. See, we go camping in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today, there will be no Mindset Monday because we will be in a part of the Adirondacks where there is literally zero internet. Usually, if I go through a town, I can get internet for about 5 minutes and then it goes back to nothing. We go to a campsite that is very rustic. We're on this other part of the bigger campsite where there's only a few sites. They're water sites. Our particular area, you park at a cul-de-sac and you have to hike down to your campsite. It's your own hiking trail to your campsite. And because it's so remote, you have your own outhouse. So, yeah, I'll be using an outhouse for the entire week. We've stayed there before. It's awesome. I'm hoping to reacquaint myself with the same chipmunks that were there last year that I gave so many peanuts to and so many sunflower seeds to. They were sitting on my lap and eating, and it was so stinking cute. So little Chippy better be there, and Potato better be there, and my kids named one Old Man Jenkins. He better be there. And yeah, we had a whole. I'll know Chippy. He had a little fur scar area. So, and he would just sit on my lap and eat his nuts and just sit there. I could pet him. Okay. I wanted to bring him home. So cute. So, when you go to a family barbecue, I know I get off track. But when you go to a family barbecue as well, the other thing you could do is if you want to feel like you're putting something on the grill. Like I said last week in episode 2, when we talked about that vegan junk food trap, I said there's 99% of stuff on the store shelves are not compliant. There are very few that are. So if you want to bring something that is, Engine 2 burgers are compliant. Personally, I find them bland and I do not like them. I just don't care for them personally. Other people love them. They're a great choice if you want something oil free. It's just not something I really purchase anymore. There's a brand called Sunshine Burgers. They actually say on their label whole food plant based, and they are, but the main ingredient, because they're called Sunshine, are sunflower seeds. So they are very calorie and fat dense. So they're a very high calorie food. But if it's just for a barbecue one time and not something that you're eating on a regular basis, it's at least a compliant burger that you can get to say, hey, slap this on the grill for me. The No Evil sausage links. Again, we used to get them last year, maybe about once a month. And I really just don't get them anymore because we started finding that they just tasted too dry. And I just love this because during my Facebook Live, he did the same thing. So my cat's got his leg up and he's yeah, that's Tommy. So Tommy always has to be here when I'm doing my videos. I have 6 cats. This one is always the one that you guys see. The one that did this yesterday. Pretty soon, all my fingers and thumbs will be in these things and I won't be able to move. So there are a few other compliant burgers out there. No Bull has a few flavors that are oil free, but they have a little blurb on the bottom that says oil is used in the processing. So there's probably some in it, though they're saying it's so minuscule, we don't have to put it on the label. They are at least, I've tried, I fully admit I get them once in a while because they are one of the few that I think stay really well together on a grill. Okay. So if you're in that point where you're saying, I don't need to be like 100% like, about it, it is, that one is okay. It's tasty. So it's not mush. Like when I make my homemade ones, they don't really work on a grill unless I use a grill pad because they don't they don't bulk up because I don't put rice or oats to kind of soak up the moisture because I'm trying to keep them as low as possible. So mine, unless they're baked, they're kind of okay. So let's see questions. What do you think about the Beyond Burger? Don't do it. It's part of that vegan junk food trap. They are basically, there's like 3 different kinds of oil in the Beyond Burger. It is junk on a bun. I don't get them. I tried it once when I was like 3 months into eating whole food plant based. It was an oil slick. It was gross. And that was the last time that I would ever put that in my mouth. I would probably, if I was on a desert island and in front of me was the Beyond Burger or a regular burger, I would probably choose the burger versus this oil slick. It's so oily and so gross. It just, when I put it in my mouth, you're coated. It's gross. No, don't do it to yourself. I just heard about Engine 2 burgers oil free. Where do you find them? Whole Foods is exclusive. So all the Engine 2 products are at Whole Foods. Our Whole Foods, Jenny does carry them. So they are there. Like I said, I just don't care for them. I got a couple in the freezer. So if you want them, I can bring, are you coming to the potluck? Because I can bring them. But the other thing that you can do that's popular in all the groups right now are carrot dogs. Have you ever heard of carrot dogs? So if you haven't, they're worth a try. So my favorite recipe is actually Chuck's from Brand New Vegan. So if you haven't seen his site, you can certainly just go to like Google and type in Brand New Vegan carrot dogs and you'll see it. So that recipe is actually my favorite. I've tried a few over the last couple years, and that's the one. I don't make these all the time, and it tends to only be in the summer, but they're actually pretty darn good. And if you follow me on Facebook, last week I posted a picture of um, my glucose meter and my after dinner reading. I ate my dinner and then I did a workout, and I was like, oh, what the heck? Let's see where I'm at. And my reading was an 80. This is what happens when you reverse diabetes. That is a completely normal number. And I had a carrot dog and half a bun. So I just went ahead and had that. And I had a salad on top of it. And I think I even had a few homemade chips with some potato carrot cheese with it. So I had like a salad, I had some of those chips, I had a carrot dog. I then went and did my workout that I'm currently doing. If you're wondering, I am currently, besides just like my riding my bike, I am doing Beachbody's Lift 4 because my current goal is to build muscle. I look at my baby muscle. Okay. It's hard to see a baby muscle when you also have all this loose skin. So I generally try to hide that. But look, when you don't see the loose skin, you just go, ooh, baby. I'm working on the baby to get her up, to grow her up. She needs to be a toddler and then a teenager. So that's what I'm currently working on. So when I go to a family barbecue on Thursday, I'm going to probably bring carrot dogs because they're my current in thing. They are really tasty. They can slap them on the grill. I'm going to make my big bowl with my salad and people are going to eat my salad. So I'm going to bring hummus and the veggies, and I'm going to bring my potato, carrot, cheese, and my own chips. They can use their chips in it. I'm going to make mine because they're like gold. I hate making chips, but I do it, and no one else is getting my chips. So if you want to know how you make chips, you just get oil-free corn tortillas. Most on the store shelves are already oil-free. Some have other ingredients. You can find ones that are just basically corn and water, or sometimes corn, water, and lime. But if you get some of the ones that have like the gar gum, I mean, whatever. I say they're fine. I cut them up into triangles and I put them in the oven on my baking sheet. I don't put parchment paper. I don't spray it. They don't stick. I put it in 350, 6, 7 minutes. I rotate the pan, maybe about five more till I see that they're hard, all rose. Take them out. Boom, you just made yourself oil-free tortilla chips. They're really good and really simple. Okay, so Cindy said, I'm new to vegan plant-based. Thanks for the tips. You're welcome, Cindy. Okay, so it's you know, all you want to do is get in the habit of when you're going to family events, when you're going to, a carnival, when you're going on vacation, you need to just get in that habit of sticking to the plan, because the longer that you stick with it, the easier and more natural it becomes. So like in episode 1, when I talked about creating these healthy habits and how it takes 66 days average, and there's some writing on it now, but I made this tracker PDF, and if you find it, the PDF link should be in the description from that video. You can cross off every day that you stay on track and that you ate whole food plant-based, and by the end of the 66 days, it's natural for me to take my own food to any event I go to now. It's natural. And it's sometimes, I get it. It can be a pain in the butt. We don't always want to feel like we have to sit and prep all this sort of stuff to go to a family barbecue at someone else's house. Usually you think to yourself, oh, yay, family barbecue. I don't have to do anything but show up. And then when you're eating this way and no one else is, that's not the case. You got to bring your own food. And I get it that sometimes it's a pain in the butt. I got a little upset yesterday just because I felt like I was doing painting and all this other stuff, and we went and did a couple other things, and we had to go get some stuff, and we did this and that, and then we got home and my husband was out on the trampoline with our daughter, and yay, I get to make dinner. And I came out with a tray with our 3 plates on it and a big ice water that we could all share. And we sat down in the swing out there. And I said, gee, it'd sure be nice if once in a while I could just sit around doing nothing and have dinner brought out to me on a tray. I was a little, sorry for using a swear, I was a little bitchy yesterday. Okay. I was a little upset. And I get it that we all get in that zone and we're all kind of sick of it once in a while. But when we want to stick with our goals, that's sometimes what we have to do. We have to suck it up and just say, hey, I'm in charge of what I put in my mouth. So if I want to make sure I'm eating healthy at the barbecue, I have to bring my own food and I have to learn to get over it. And I got over it. It was a pain in the butt. All right, Cindy, you watch it later. I'm sorry I'm killing your phone battery. But, you got to just learn to just say, this is what I want. This is my goal, and I'm going to do what I need to achieve it. So, like I said, we're going camping in 2 weeks. So, on that particular Monday, that's when we're getting ready to leave. And I just really won't have the time to sit down and do this video. So, I'm taking that week off. Um, like I said, we're going to a very remote campsite. I love this campsite. It is so relaxing to be sitting right next to a gorgeous lake where there's hardly any other campers on the side because of outhouses and hiking into sites. A lot of people don't go to this particular side of this campground. Last year at this campground, there's an actual mountain that you can climb that's there at the campground. That's the only way to access it, is through the campground. And we're driving up that road and there's an emu. I'm talking like a 7-foot tall bird walking down the road to the hiking trail to climb the mountain. Weird. And we told them that there was an emu and they thought it was like a chicken until I showed them the picture of the 7-foot tall bird. And then they were like, holy crap, why is there an emu roaming the woods in the Adirondacks? Don't know. Very strange. Not going to be climbing the mountain this year because you get way up near the top and then it's like a straight climb up rocks. I'm not a rock climber, and with two bad knees, no. So we got like we got like 9/10 to the top last year before we said this isn't going to happen, and we had to slide on our butts on the way home. But when you're camping, what are you going to do? How do you do something like that when you're on a vacation? How do you do even just road trips? Again, we tend to do the same thing where we bring wraps and apples and bananas and things like that that we can eat in the car. But if you're stopping at a rest stop, there's usually something. It may not be the best, most filling meal, but there's usually things like, if there's a Wendy's at the rest stop, plain baked potato and salsa. If they're sometimes, I tend to bring my potato, carrot, cheese. So if you need to get a plain baked potato and just get into your cooler for a minute and throw the potato, carrot, cheese on top and then some of the salsa on top, boom. So there's ways to even do that. We were very blessed in that when we went on a recent trip in Ohio, their rest stops, there was a Panera bread at every rest area. You guys love Panera, and so do I. 10 vegetable soup is oil free. Sometimes you will see what looks like an oil slick on the top, and that is because they put a slice of lemon on it and it's kind of releasing its juices and it looks like it's oil. And it may, some of the lemon oil from the actual peel. It's not added oil. You can have at it with the 10 vegetable soup. That is what I eat when I need to go to Panera. And I will usually get their what is it called? Their quinoa, whatever salad. And I say no dressing and I say no feta cheese. Sometimes I pay the extra for them to put avocado on it. And I just eat it like that. And if you need something on the go that's quick and simple that can be like a dressing on top of something like that, I honestly go and just grab extra packets of soy sauce and I'll put soy sauce on as a dressing. It works if you're on the go and you just need a packet, you can put that on there and a little bit of mustard on there, stir it up, boom, you've got a salad dressing. A lot of people are always asking me about salad dressings and for recipes for them. I don't really do any of my own because I tend to just use potato, carrot, cheese, and balsamic vinegar 99% of the time. That's my dressing. I don't really do other things. So when you're on the road, bring your own food, find compliant things at rest areas, or hit grocery stores. Guess what? Every grocery store has a produce section. So when people say, oh, I can't find anything to eat, BS. Don't get in that mind game with yourself of trying to justifying the bad choice by saying there's nothing else here to eat. There's bananas at every grocery store. 7-Eleven, even these days, has like cooler areas in pretty much every one now that has like little fruit cups, and they have carrot and celery sticks. And they have, I mean, they even have the ones with the peanut butter. The peanut butter is probably the crap peanut butter, but I mean, there's stuff there that you can eat. You can get one of the single packets of nuts. I mean, there's no excuses these days because there's something everywhere. You may not think that it sounds like a complete meal to you, but on the go in a pinch, it's there. You can eat it. So that's why, like I said, I'll bring wraps and I'll buy something like that. I'll bring baby carrots and put a smaller container of hummus just in the front seat at my feet. So that way, if we want to dip and eat while we're driving, we can do that. Because for us to get from here to the Adirondacks and our campsite, it's about a 6-hour drive. And I don't drive. So my husband's stuck doing it all. So he hates doing long drives, but we love going there. So that's what we do. So you make it work. When we're camping, what I'm going to do is make ahead of time 2 overnight oats in jars, have them ready to go. And then I'm just going to bring the stuff to keep refilling those jars each evening while we're camping, fill them up with the almond milk, shake them up, put them in the cooler. And guess what? In the morning, we've got oatmeal. And you can go ahead and eat it cold when we camp. I tend to do that. We are taking our smaller car this year, so I don't have a ton of room to be bringing tons of jars and things like that. We're bringing a smaller cooler because we're traveling light. So I'm not bringing the camping stove. I'm going to bring one little pot. So if we decide we want them warm, we can just put it in the pot over the actual fire pit and warm it up real quick and put it back into our jars and eat it. Even my daughter, who is not fully whole food plant-based, she's mostly, and I say mostly vegan. She's about probably 80, 90% there, at least at home. But it's so easy for her to just take her simple oatmeal as well that she does like and just heat and eat. So that's what we do. Normally, what I would do is cook something different every night and make it to be a giant pain in the butt. This year, I'm bringing some pre-made stuff. So the day before, I'm just going to make two or three of his, rice stir fries, cauliflower rice stir fries for me. I have those simple containers, those black flat containers for single-use foods, and I'm going to bring those in the cooler. And then when those are empty and cleaned, they're just going to be our plates for the whole rest of the time that we're there, and bring simple things like the carrot dogs. And sometimes I bring these pitas. I don't even remember the brand. There's one brand of pitas that I found that are oil free. We'll bring those and sometimes make like a fire pit pizza with it and just put the potato carrot cheese on top and some pre chopped veggies that I get. And boom, you got that. And there's still grocery stores in the Adirondacks. So even if I don't bring full 5 days worth of stuff, if I decide to go get some fresh veggies on day 3 to make our salads for and things like that for the last couple days, that's what you do. So I tend to just do that and make everything work and bring it. And that's how you got to do this. So she even said it's so simple. We make it hard. We do. It is as easy as a choice to say, I'm going to go with the flow and make this easy and stay on track, or I'm just going to complain and whine and groan and moan and go off of it and say it's too hard to do this. It's not too hard. There are the days like yesterday where I'm pissed because I had to make everything and I felt like I did everything. I got over it. You get over it because you want to reach your goals and you want to stay where you're at. And it's as easy or as difficult as you choose to let it be. So when I go to that family barbecue on Thursday, I'm probably going to bring carrot dogs. I'm going to bring a big tossed salad that I will leave open on the table for other people to enjoy. I'm going to bring my potato carrot cheese. I'm going to bring hummus and I'm going to bring veggies and my chips so that I've got plenty to eat. When we go to things like carnivals, we were at a carnival on Saturday. Guess what? I ate some cotton candy. I didn't eat the whole bag of cotton candy. It was for 5 people. I had a handful of cotton candy. If you can learn to go to something like that and have a small amount of something bad along with all the good that you're having all day, this isn't like I ate meat. I didn't eat a burger. I didn't eat an oil slick. I had a little bit of excess sugar. A little bit. One thing that being diagnosed as a diabetic 17 years ago taught me was how to be able to say no and have this natural thing in me that can stop at a certain point. So even if I get, like, once in a while, I get those flat pretzel like chip things at Aldi's. They're oil free. So sometimes I want that, or my Edward and Son crackers, or a different kind of rice cracker that's oil free with my hummus. It's a calorie dense food. Typically, what you want to go with is a vegetable, but sometimes you just want the crunch of a pretzel. Before you know it, you've eaten the entire bag, then don't bring them in the house yet. You need to kind of retrain yourself and get in that habit. And when I was diagnosed with diabetes, that's the one thing that it taught me how to do, is to have something like that and just be like, that's my stopping point. I'm done. And sometimes it's easy to try to have your hand re-go. And that's when I'll just put the bag away. If I'm sitting outside on the patio and I know I'm not going to be able to stop and I'm going to eat the whole bag, I will get up and put that bag away in the pantry. Or sometimes if my husband and I are watching TV together, if we're watching live PD on a Saturday night and our hands are going straight into that pretzels, I'll be like, take the bag away from me. Don't let me have any more. And he won't. And I'll say, hey, give me the pretzels. And he'll be like, nope, you said no more. He's great that way. But you got to learn how to just stick with it long. If you get comments when you go to family events, who cares? Seriously, laugh it off. Say what I said. Don't knock it until you're willing to try it. When I bring the carrot dogs, if the same person that laughed at me last year for the potato carrot cheese laughs at me for the carrot dog, I'll say, hey, Bill, I brought you one. And I'll give him one and I'll make him eat the damn thing. And just like last year, he'll probably say, it tastes better than this shit, because that's what he said to the taco dip that they had, that they always have every year. It's the same taco dip for the 12 years that I've been going to this particular barbecue with my boyfriend, now husband, it's the same food. And he liked it better. They all liked it better. So, it's to the point now where they're used to how I eat. My family's used to how I eat. I don't get those comments anymore. And frankly, when I got them, I didn't care because I was doing this for me. And I get it that other people, like my mother, she will never go whole food plant based. She will never care. She will still maybe once in a while joke, like, don't you just want that Whopper? Nope, I don't. Don't want it. Not going to have it. Okay. Can you post a list of some items you find that are oil free on your page? I Yes, I have a list that's in my Kickstart program, and I will try to dig up the PDF for it and stick it on my fan page later. So if you have not liked my fan page, it's just the same name as here. It's just Plant Based Melissa on Facebook. And I do the same live here first, or there first, and then I come here and do it here. So I talked way too much. I always say I'm going to keep this week's video short. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. But just when you go out this week, 4th of July, just bring your food with you. Don't feel weird. I mean, it may feel weird when you're first doing it, but like I said, now it's just normal and what I do when I go out. If we go hiking, I pack my food and bring it. We go picnic with my parents, which we do a lot at this one local park on Sundays. We're going this Sunday. Yeah, I bring my own food. When I just go to her house, I bring my own food. So, everywhere I go, I bring my own food unless I decide I want to grab something quick. There are very few places where I know I can go to Wegmans and I can make a salad in their salad bar. Or I can go to Whole Foods and do the same thing. And there's a place called Mine Greens where I can make salads where they do unlimited vegetables in your salad. So they have maybe 30 choices and you can put all 30 on there. And trust me, I do. I tell them the two things I don't want. I say, don't put the garlic and don't put the beets and put everything else on there. I don't like beets. So, you just go with it. All right. So have a great holiday. I'd love to hear what you're having, what you're going to do on the 4th of July. So leave it below in the comments. Like I said, I don't always reply to everybody, but I read every single comment that gets left on my channel. So have a great one. And I will try to, see you next week. Following week, I'll be on vacation, but enjoy your holiday and I'll see you guys soon. Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Enjoy the 4th. See you soon. Bye bye.